Tide Academy. Only those who awaken a fruit are worthy. The unawakened are erased.
Tatsuya, 3 years without awakening. You are expelled from this academy.
My fists, they've never failed me. So why do they feel so heavy now?
Headmaster, wait. He trains harder than all of us. There must be a mistake.
Silence, Haru. Hard work without a fruit is worthless. The academy has no place for failures.
Finally, don't let the gate hit you on the way out. Fruitless scum.
I'll come back, and when I do, every one of you will see what a fruitless fist can do.
That night, the docks were empty. Only the sea and one broken cadet beneath the moon.
3 years, and I couldn't even spark a dying fruit. What's left for me?
But his bandaged fists clenched, and in the silence, something refused to shatter. A soft splash broke the silence. At the pier's edge, an old man fished, his back to the broken cadet.
Those bandaged fists. You've been punching the wrong thing. You think a devil fruit is the only power.
You know about the academy? What else is there? I've trained every day for 3 years.
The sea needs no fruit to destroy ships. Raw skill honed past breaking can shatter anything, even their pride.
Shatter anything? Could a fist without a fruit really reach that height? Teach me. I'll do whatever it takes. Make me strong enough to break their whole world.
Before dawn, Jiro led him to a cliffside hut filled with training posts and ancient scrolls.
Forget the academy. Here, you start from zero. Your fists are your fruit, your will the soil.
From nothing. I left with nothing. Now I'll grow something they can't ignore.
And so, beneath the old fighter's gaze, the fruitless cadet began a training no academy could teach. Training under Jiro meant bleeding daily. No fruit, just fists against stone, wood, and water.
You think suffering breaks you? Number, it strips away weakness until only power remains.
With every bruise, I feel the brittle parts of me crumbling. What's left is sharper.
He punched the boulder until his bandages dyed red. Yet his glare never wavered. Seasons turned. Spring blossoms fell on his torn shoulders. Summer heat baked his resolve. By autumn, the boulder bore cracks. By winter, his fists were the only fire needed. 3 years later, the fruitless cadet stood as a man who had shattered his own limits. A tattered poster on a village wall. Tide Academy Open Tournament. All fighters welcome.
Their open challenge. Perfect. I'll tear through every fruit user in that arena.
Go. Your fists have become a language now. Make them listen.
When Tatsuya walked through the academy gates, the cadet stopped mid-swing. Whispers spread like a ripping sail.
Tatsuya? It's really you. You look different. Are you here for the tournament?
3 years, Haru. The sea taught me what these halls never could. I'll register now.
The Expelled reject dares to show his face. You still haven't awakened, so why bother breathing?
I don't need a fruit to break arrogant bones. Step aside unless you plan to be first.
At the registration table, Haru found his fingers trembling as he wrote Tatsuya's name onto the official bracket.
He's just a relic of old shame. The first round will grind him into the dirt where he belongs.
Sato. That boy, Tatsuya, has returned. Watch his matches personally. Do not let him stray near. Old matters.
Of course, Headmaster. I'll ensure his participation remains unremarkable. We cannot risk exposure.
Tatsuya's name stared back from the bracket. The board's fear was a secret he didn't know he'd come to conquer. A reptile fruit cadet entered the ring, scales oozing venom. The crowd leaned forward for a slaughter. Tatsuya sidestepped the lunge and drove his fist into the lizard's throat. One blow. The beast crumpled. A stunned silence, then wild disbelief. The fruitless exile had just humiliated a predator with nothing but bandages and resolve.
This is impossible. No unawakened human can move like that. Sato, increase the surveillance immediately.
The next match arrived swiftly. A cadet with the gale fruit, vanishing into blurry after images. The gale fruit sprinter flickered, leaving ghost steps in the sand. Tatsuya didn't chase, he punched the open space ahead.
Fast feet, don't mean fast brain.
The sprinter materialized into the punch, ankle snapping. Tatsuya grabbed his collar and tossed him over the rope.
Headmaster, if he wins one more, the crowd will demand answers. We must disqualify him before the quarterfinals.
Tatsuya stood among the fallen, bandaged fists glowing faintly. The real fight was only beginning.
You got lucky against weaklings, Tatsuya, but my blade fruit will cut your career in half.
Blades don't scare me. My fists already shattered boulders stronger than your arrogance.
Kenji's arms morphed into live steel, 6 blades gleaming. He launched a whirlwind slash meant to end it instantly. Tatsuya slipped under the first arc, rolled past the second, and drove his heel into Kenji's exposed ribs.
All speed, no instinct. He telegraphs like a training dummy.
Kenji stumbled, spitting dust. He forced a smile and lunged again, blades slicing the air into a cage of cuts. But Tatsuya's fist was already there, a straight punch through the center. Steel clanged and snapped. The audience gasped as Kenji crashed onto his back, arms humiliated back to flesh. His eyes couldn't believe the ceiling.
He broke Kenji's fruit attack with bare hands. The suppression must be failing. We're out of time.
Tatsuya offered no hand, only a cold stare. The tournament's favorite had been forged from the Academy's deepest secret. That night, behind iron doors, the board gathered in a chamber no cadet ever saw.
Headmaster, his fists glowed. The suppression is cracking. If that fruit ever breaks free.
I know. That bloodline is a catastrophe, but publicly admitting we suppressed him would destroy us.
Then what? He's winning over the crowd. Another match and they'll demand answers we can't give.
We find a rule. Late registration, improper conduct, anything to disqualify him before the quarterfinals.
Agreed. Search the charter. A technicality is our only cover. His return must not trigger what we buried.
An ancient scroll was pulled from a hidden shelf, its edges charred, bearing Tatsuya's family crest and a forbidden fruit silhouette.
This suppression order. It's the only thing keeping disaster contained. If he ever learns the truth.
He will not. Inform the officials about the irregularity in his registration. We're done here.
The board rose, pockets stuffed with loopholes. Outside, Tatsuya's name still echoed from the arena, a problem no rule could truly contain. The next morning, an official announcement echoed through the arena. Tatsuya's registration had been filed past the deadline.
That's a lie. I registered him myself, hours before the cutoff.
The records show otherwise. Late registrations are invalid. The decision is final.
Show me the rule. Let the crowd read it with me.
Sato's hands trembled as he flipped pages. The rule they needed didn't exist. The crowd sensed the lie. A chant erupted. Let him fight. The stands shook with rage.
You expelled me once for having no fruit. Now you are afraid of what my fists can do.
The headmaster's retort was lost under a wave of boos. Even the guards looked uneasy.
Headmaster, the crowd will riot. We can't enforce this without a valid clause.
Fine. The disqualification is withdrawn. But this isn't over. Tatsuya.
In the Academy's dusty archive, a woman in a lab coat watched the matches with growing dread. Her name was Dr. Akemi.
Tatsuya. That name, it matches the forbidden bloodline in the old records. Could he be the one they suppressed?
She pulled ancient scrolls from the deepest shelf. Decades of dust lifted as she unrolled recorded bloodlines.
If the suppression is weakening, his continued fighting could trigger an awakening that hasn't been seen for a century. The suppression order, signed by the founders themselves. They didn't expel him for weakness. They expelled him to keep this quiet, but he came back. He's breaking every fruit user with bare fists. The board must be panicking. The truth is about to explode. He deserves to know. Even if the board catches me, I have to tell him what they stole from his bloodline.
She clutched the scroll, the only evidence. and slipped out of the lab.
I'll find him before the next match. He has to know what his fists are truly capable of shutting down.
But informants were everywhere. As she walked, a pair of cold eyes followed her, reporting her every step to the board.
Tatsuya, I need to show you something. It's about why you never awakened a fruit.
She led him inside, past shelves of forbidden knowledge, and unrolled the suppression order before his eyes.
The founders banned your bloodline a century ago. Your fruit, the Voidquake, threatens to collapse space itself.
Collapse space. That's impossible. I couldn't even crush a fruit user without Jiro's training.
She traced the family tree. Every bearer before him was killed or suppressed. He was the last.
They expelled you not for failure, but to keep you from triggers. The tournament is breaking the seal.
My whole exile, a cage they built, so I wouldn't become a monster.
If you continue fighting, the Voidquake could erupt. But if you stop now, the board will bury the truth forever.
I didn't earn my strength as a choice. It was forced on me. What do I do now?
The scroll lay between them, a seed of destruction no training could have prepared him for.
Your body is already reacting. Those glows in your fists, that's the seal weakening. The next fight could break it open. I have a serum that can awaken it safely, under control. Otherwise, it might erupt without warning.
Control. She's asking if I want to become the thing they feared.
His bandaged fists shook, not from fear, but from the weight of a power he never asked for.
If I take that serum, everything I learned from Jiro becomes a lie. I'd be just another fruit user.
Then you risk everyone around you. The Voidquake doesn't care about philosophy. It will break free.
I need to think, alone. Give me until the next match. I'll give you my answer then.
He left the serum untouched, the scroll still open on the table. The lab fell silent, but for the hum of old equipment. Somewhere between the sea and the arena, his fists throbbed with a choice heavier than any boulder he'd ever shattered. He found himself at the old docks, the sea moonlit and endless, just like the night of his expulsion.
Jiro once said, "A fruitless fist can break the world if the will behind it refuses to yield."
The training flashed through him. Boulder dust, aching muscles, and a voice that treated him like already whole.
I didn't survive those 3 years to become a fruit user now. The Voidquake is a power I never earned. My real strength is forged from nothing.
His fists unclenched, then tightened with a decision that silenced every doubt.
Let the seal stay. I'll wear my suppression like armor they can't pierce.
The erratic glow steadied into a calm, faint light. Acceptance, not resistance. He stood and walked back toward the academy, the corridor, stretching ahead, filled with the roar of the waiting crowd.
From now on, my fists alone will carve the path. No fruit, no fear.
The spy's report arrived at midnight. Dr. Akemi had broken silence. The board gathered, faces ashen.
She told him the truth. If he speaks publicly, this academy crumbles. We need more than a loophole.
He won't stop fighting, and the crowd won't let us stop him, unless the fight is beyond his control.
The Iron Fortress. He's still in the lower vault. An exhibition fight would be unsanctioned and lethal.
The Iron Fortress, a masked executioner chained in the deepest cell. His record was flawless and final.
Release him. Tonight's main event will be an exhibition to remember. Tatsuya won't survive to tell secrets.
By dawn, the tournament bracket was altered. A new name, unregistered, towered beside Tatsuya's. Announcement: ladies and gentlemen, a special exhibition. Tatsuya faces the undefeated Iron Fortress.
Iron Fortress? Just another obstacle. My fists don't need a fruit to break whatever they hide.
The crowd's roar masked the trap, a death match dressed as a celebration, and a fighter who had never let anyone walk away. Near the fighter's tunnel, Dr. Akemi grabbed Tatsuya's arm, her face pale with urgency.
The Iron Fortress isn't a normal fighter. He's an executioner who broke every opponent with bare hands. Please, take the serum.
I already told you, my fists are my only power. I won't dilute them with a borrowed nightmare.
But Tatsuya, he's defeated 47 fighters without a scratch. What if your seal cracks during the fight?
Then my fists will answer like they always have. Jiro taught me that will is the deepest fruit, no fruit. Just the echo of an old man's voice and 3 years of stone dust in my lungs.
He stepped past them, the massive stone door groaning open. Roar of the crowd, blinding sunlight, and a mountain of iron waiting.
47. They all relied on something other than themselves. This one won't be different.
The iron fortress raised a fist the size of a mast. No fruit glowed on him, only a lifetime of breaking flesh. The bell rang. Both fighters stepped forward, and the Academy's darkest secret trembled on the edge of a fist. The iron fortress swung first, a blow that could crush a mast. Tatsuya ducked under it, the wind tearing his vest.
Heavy, but slow. Patience will split open even iron.
Tatsuya fired a straight punch into the giant's ribs, but iron-like muscle absorbed it without a flinch. The fortress grabbed Tatsuya's arm and hurled him across the ring. Sand erupted as he crashed into the barrier. His bandaged fists came away red, the white cloth darkening. The glow flickered, unstable, as if the suppression itself was bleeding.
He's already weakening. One more exchange, and the problem solves itself.
Don't underestimate him. He survived Kenji because of instinct. Watch for the counter.
Tatsuya pushed himself up, blood dripping from his knuckles. The crowd fell into a fearful hush, breath held. The iron fortress lumbered forward, fists raised for the killing combination. The sand vibrated with each step.
If I fall here, Jiro's teaching means nothing. One opening. I only need one. The will is the deepest fruit.
As the killing combination came, Tatsuya slipped between the fists like water, diving into the giant's guard.
Jiro's voice echoed. The hardest metal shatters at the joint. Aim where they think they're invincible.
His fist rammed into the knee joint with a sickening crunch, then the elbow, each strike precise, relentless.
The mask. It's already cracking from the impact. One more to the hinge.
The iron fortress roared, one arm hanging useless, as Tatsuya planted his foot and exploded upward. His bandaged fist, glowing white gold, zeroed on the mask's seam. Everything Jiro had drilled for 3 years. The punch connected. The iron mask shattered into pieces, revealing a scarred, stunned face beneath. The giant teetered, then collapsed backward with a force that shook the sand from the stands.
No fruit. Just 3 years of boulders and an old man who believed in me.
He stood over the fallen titan, the crowd's breath, a single held note, before the roar of disbelief erupted. The referee raised Tatsuya's arm, and the arena exploded. Winner by knockout, Tatsuya.
He cheated. No fruitless cadet could break the iron fortress. This victory is invalid.
Lie. You tried to kill him with an unsanctioned fight, and he still won. The crowd saw everything.
He used illegal techniques. His registration was already in question. We have every right to.
Enough lies. You've been hiding something since I returned. Spit it out. What are you so afraid of?
Headmaster, the crowd is turning. If we keep this up, we'll lose all authority.
The once cheering crowd now murmured, suspicion spreading like a crack through their faith in the Academy.
I was expelled for having no fruit. But tonight you sent a monster to kill me. Why? What did I ever do to you?
This is not a trial. Guards, remove him.
But the crowd didn't move. Every eye turned to the VIP box, waiting for the truth that could no longer hide. A voice cut through the noise. Dr. Akemi stepped into the light, the ancient scroll held high above her head.
Tatsuya never failed to awaken. His bloodline carries the Voidquake fruit, banned by the Founders a century ago. This scroll is a suppression order. The board has been secretly keeping his fruit sealed since birth to prevent catastrophe.
Lies. She's a disgruntled researcher trying to destroy this academy. Guards, seize her.
No, I can't do this anymore. It's true. We expelled him to keep the Voidquake dormant. The executioner was our last resort.
Silence seized the arena. For a heartbeat, only the wind moved. Then the crowd's rage ignited.
Everything I thought was my failure was a cage they built around a power I never asked for.
You fools! Without the suppression, that fruit could swallow this island. I was protecting civilization.
But the crowd no longer listened. Chants of truth and expel the board shook the stone walls. Headmaster Kurogani's empire of secrets collapsed in a single night, crushed by the fists of the cadet he had wronged. Tatsuya raised a bandaged fist, and the restless crowd fell into absolute silence.
You cursed me with fruitlessness. I hated you for years. But tonight, I finally understand. That seal. It became a wall I had to climb with bare hands. It forged muscles no fruit ever could. 3 years of boulders. 3 years of bleeding in the dust. And not once did I need a fruit to rise. I will never awaken the Voidquake. This seal is my proof. Fruitlessness is not a curse. It's my greatest strength.
The crowd erupted, not in rage, but in thunderous admiration. Tears streaked Haru's face as he screamed his friend's name. Guards seized the headmaster. His once proud robe tore as they dragged him from the box he had ruled for decades. Tatsuya lowered his fist. The bandages, soaked in blood and sweat, still glowed with a steady, peaceful light.
Jiro, you were right. The deepest fruit grows where they try to bury you.
The Academy's oldest lie was dead, and from its ashes, a fruitless legend was born. He stared at his bandaged fists. The flickering glow steadied into a calm, unwavering gold.
The seal isn't cracking anymore. It's settling, like it finally belongs to me.
The roar of the crowd felt distant now, a tide that had finally washed him clean. Dr. Akemi approached, her eyes shining. She stopped a respectful distance away.
Thank you for risking everything to show me the truth.
You chose the harder path. That's not my doing. That's yours.
Harder path, but the only one that was ever really mine.
He walked past her, toward the arena exit. Each step lighter than the last. The bandages on his hands weren't a shield anymore. They were a testament, and as the golden light faded, it left not emptiness, but a quiet, unshakable peace.
Tatsuya! Wait, you really did it. You changed everything.
It wasn't me, Haru. It was a stubborn old man who taught me that fruitlessness isn't empty.
They're already talking about offering you a place. You could come back. Teach them what real strength is.
This place isn't my home anymore. The sea taught me to walk my own road.
Then, will I see you again?
When the winds change, sure, but not as a cadet, as myself.
From a distant hilltop, an old man lowered his fishing rod and nodded. The boy he found on the docks had finally become a man. Jiro turned away, his task complete. Some lessons are best left to the sea. Tatsuya pulled out the tournament banner and let it fall. The fruitless legend walked into the dawn, not as a cadet, but as a free man, and the academy gates stood silent under the moon, waiting for a new sunrise, one no fruit could ever dictate. The road curved along the coastline, empty and peaceful, the sea whispering its ancient rhythm. He finally unwrapped his bandages, letting the sea wind brush his scarred knuckles.
No more hiding. These scars are my map now.
Each callus told a story. The boulder that almost crushed him, the first fruit user he sent flying. The sun climbed, painting the water gold. He breathed deep, filling his lungs with salt and freedom.
Jiro, wherever you are, I hope you can see this.
He didn't look back. The academy was already a memory, its lessons carried in his muscles, not on his shoulders. A slight smile crossed his face, not of triumph, but of quiet belonging. He walked toward the horizon, where the sea met the sky, and no fruit could define him. And in that endless blue, the fruitless fighter found his home.